Namaste Vidya, Khush raho Vidya. Today we'll be studying respiratory system in human physiology, which is a part of curriculum of BPT second semester, DPT fourth semester. So let's start with respiratory system. See, there are few terms which we'll discuss. First is pulmonary ventilation, which means the air moves in and out of the lungs. There is continuous replacement of gases within the alveoli. They are your air sacs. External respiration means gas exchange between blood and air at alveoli. O2 in air diffuses into the blood and CO2 in blood diffuses into the air. Transport of respiratory gases occurs between the lungs and the cells of the body, and it is performed by the CVS, that is our cardiovascular system. Blood is the transporting fluid over here. Then is our internal respiration, where there is gas exchange in capillaries between blood and tissue cells. Oxygen in blood diffuses into tissues, and CO2 in tissues diffuses into the blood. The oxygen is used by the cells and it is needed in conversion of glucose to cellular energy, that is your ATP, and all body cells. The CO2 is produced as a waste product. If we see the respiratory organ, we have lungs, we have from the nose we breathe in, we have conducting zone and respiratory zones if we classify the respiratory system. So the conducting zones are the respiratory passages that carry air to the site of gas exchange. They filter, humidify and warm the air. Respiratory zone is a site of gases exchange and it is composed of respiratory bronchioles, alveolar ducts and alveolar sacs. We have nose, which provides airway. It moistens and warms the air. It filters the air. It is a resonating chamber for speech. And olfactory receptors are present here. Olfactory receptors mean which can smell, the ability to smell, which helps in smelling. Then we have trachea or windpipe. It descends larynx to neck into mediastinum, divides into thorax into two main bronchi, which are a primary bronchi. It has around 16 to 20 C-shaped rings of hyaline cartilage, which are joined together by fibroelastic connective tissue. It is flexible for bending. Then there is bronchial bifurcation. The trachea divides into right and left main bronchus, and each main or primary bronchus runs into hilus of lung posterior to pulmonary vessels. Now this main or the primary bronchi divide into secondary lobar bronchi. Each supplies one lobe. 3 are on the right side and 2 are on the left side. Then endpoint of respiratory tree is there. That is structures that contain air exchange chambers, alveoli. Respiratory bronchioles lead into alveolar ducts. And these ducts lead into terminal clusters called alveolar sacs, which are microscopic sacs or chambers. And there are almost 3 million alveoli. Then we come to the lungs and pleura. Around each lung is a flattened sac of serous membrane called pleura. There are two types of pleura, parietal and visceral. There is pleural cavity, which is a slit-like potential space filled with pleural fluid. The lungs can slide with separation from pleura is resisted. Lungs clench to thoracic wall and are forced to expand and recoil as volume of thoracic cavity changes during breathing. The lungs, there are two lungs, a pair of lungs, that means each is cone-shaped with anterior, lateral, posterior surfaces. Hilus or hilum is present, that is indentation of mediastinal surface. The root of the lung is there. In right lung we have 3 lobes, in left lung we have 2 lobes. Each lobe is made up of bronchopulmonary segments separated by dense connective tissue. Each segment receives air from an individual segmental or tertiary bronchus. The pulmonary arteries bring oxygen or poor blood to the lungs for oxygenation. They branch along with the bronchial tree. The smallest vein into the pulmonary capillary network around the alveoli. The pulmonary veins carry oxygenated blood from the alveoli to the lungs to the heart. Now we come to the muscles of inspiration. During inspiration, the dome-shaped diaphragm flattens as it contracts, and this increases the height of thoracic cavity. The external intercostal muscles contract to raise the ribs, and this increases the circumference of the thoracic cavity. Now we'll discuss about expiration. The expiration is chiefly passive in a healthy person. Inspiratory muscles relax, rib cage drops under force of gravity. The relaxing diaphragm moves superiorly or upwards. Elastic fibers in lung recoil. The volume of thorax and lungs decrease, simultaneously increasing the pressure and the forces, and the air is forced out. There is gas transport also. The blood transports oxygen and CO2 between lungs and the tissues of the body. And these gases are transported in different states. First is it is dissolved in plasma. Second, chemically combined with hemoglobin. And thirdly, converted to a different molecule. There is ventilation and perfusion together. They work together. Most oxygen is carried by oxygen binding pigment, that is hemoglobin. The hemoglobin has 60 times the capacity of plasma to transport oxygen. Ventilation delivers oxygen to the environmental side of the exchange surface. Perfusion delivers CO2 to the exchange surface, where it diffuses out and is swept away by ventilation. The transport of CO2 from body cells to lungs, how it is done. CO2 released by body cells can be transported in three ways. First, in the form of carbonic acid, H2CO3, carbaminohemoglobin, and bicarbonate ions. Now, this respiration is regulated by two methods, a mechanism, which is important to know, nervous or neural mechanism, and chemical mechanism. The nervous mechanism involves respiratory centers, afferent and efferent nerves. The respiratory centers are present in medulla oblongata and pons that collect sensory information about the level of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood and determines the signals to be sent to the respiratory muscles. Stimulation of these respiratory muscles provide respiratory movements, which leads to alveolar ventilation. The respiratory centers are situated in the reticular formation of brainstem, and depending upon the situation in brainstem, the respiratory centers are classified in two groups, that is medullary and pontine centers. Now, these medullary centers are dorsal respiratory group and ventral respiratory group. The pontine center signals the ventral respiratory group, fine-tune breathing rhythm in sleep, speech, and exercise. Now we come to chemical mechanism. The chemical mechanism of regulation of respiration is operated through chemoreceptors, and these receptors give response to change in chemical constituents of the blood. So this is all in your respiratory system. I hope you were able to understand this session. And if you have any doubts, please please inbox the comments. And this session is powered by Digital 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. Thank you.